testing. We're here. Welcome. We are recording live. As you can see, I'm in the middle of a lot of different projects. I'm really going to bring you guys in closer. But we are here. We are live. I see people already liking the video. Thank you guys. Welcome in. If you're here, feel free to let me know because this is a little different than the TT platform that we are normally on. I don't see your beautiful faces until I start seeing the comments. Maybe that's something in the settings. I will eventually figure it out. But let's get going. We're going to be doing a lot of different things, and I apologize. My voice is a little bit on the fritz. If you guys don't follow me on the other platform, I have been at my son's track meets and his basketball games, and they've both been overlapping. Hey, Haley! Welcome in. But needless to say, from the cheering and everything, my voice is completely gone. I got as much of it as I could back last night, but it's been a real struggle. All right. If you are new here, welcome to Genetics Creations. My name is Jen. I teach crochet. I've been crocheting on again, off again for my entire life. I usually am making wearables. You might be able to see a lot of them in the back. I like to make shawls, beanies, and everything, but lately we have been playing around with a lot of amigurumi. This is one of the most recent things I've made. We have a lot of different things that we're messing around with, but you guys have all been a part of the last few weeks of us making this plant. This pattern is available on my Etsy shop. If you guys want any of the information there, the link is in the bio. I miss you too, Haley. I'm glad. Hopefully you rested up, though. Hey there, Liz. So 2 weeks ago, we started with the pot. Last week we worked on these leaves, and this week we are going to be making the soil, stuffing it, and putting it together. So hopefully you guys have all of that. You should already have your leaves. If not, feel free to stick around. If you have questions along the way, you can ask them. Emily, hello. Welcome in, guys. And you can always catch up. All of my classes are available for replay. So even if you're not crocheting with me today, feel free to ask. Feel free to learn, and you can always replay it as soon as it's done, because right after I end the live, it drops automatically into replay mode. So that is always going to be there. Save this link and whatnot. We like to teach weekly. Normally we are every Thursday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, but I had to reschedule this class just because things are really crazy this week. So I am pulling out my pattern right now. We went through all the leaves. We did all of that. Where's the soil? Okay, so we're going to be working on the soil, which means, if you guys don't remember, I think we were using a J hook. It's also a size 10, 6mm hook. You should have with you also your leaves from last week. You should have whatever pot you made from 2 weeks ago. And then some polyfill. So I don't know if I can stuff this under my camera, but, you know, the stuffing. I am going to use a piece of cardboard. It is entirely optional. And that's just for the base. That's if I can find what I do with it. There it is. And cardboard, guys, this is literally just what's left of a box that something I bought came in. So nothing too special. But yes, if there are any questions along the way, throw them in the chat. For those that are new here, I'm going to show you guys what's free in the description while you guys grab all of your items. So grab your brown yarn, grab your stuffing, and grab your leaves and your pot. Stuff it, Jen. Yes, Haley, we're going to be stuffing it. Okay, for those that are new, you guys are going to want to head to the description, because in the description you are going to see a link to a Google Drive document that looks like this. And it's going to be really good for anyone who's a super beginner. First off, you have my link tree here, so anything and everything Genetics Creations is there. Some things you'll find in the link tree, we have now a link to a Discord. So if that's something you want to do and get more of the community action behind the scenes, it's just a bunch of stitchers. We're having a lot of fun there, working on a ton of different projects, getting inspired, the whole nine. But all of my contact information, all of my other socials, all the other platforms I'm on, you can find all that there. But importantly is going to be all of the abbreviations for stitches. So if you are someone that wants to start learning how to read patterns, this is going to help you. Not every stitch or not every pattern you find out there, especially if you're looking for free stuff, they don't always have all the acronyms, and so usually it's in a key, a stitch key, but sometimes things get a little wonky. So this will help you. It has a lot of that. You can print it off, have it by your side, use it when you're using a pattern. Plus, at the very end, if you want to play around with diagrams, this will help you get started with diagrams. Diagrams open a whole lot of doors to other patterns that are out there, because a lot of people don't know how to read them, but they're really easy. And what's nice is they're usually a lot easier to read than a regular pattern, because you don't have to worry about it being wordy. It's not going to say single crochet and second stitch from this and do that. It's just going to have a map. And it's literally going to have like the symbol right above the stitch that you're supposed to be crocheting into. So it's a great thing, but it can look overwhelming at first. This will be your cheat sheet. So that is free to you. That is in the description. You can download it, print that off, and you are good. Okay, now let's get rid of that because we no longer need that. I'm so squeaky. Oh my goodness, I'm so squeaky. I'm so sorry, guys, but sorry, not sorry. I was cheering on kiddo, so you know. Okay. We are going to dive in. I am going to ask you to just ignore my nails because it is over 2 weeks. It has been a week. It has been a week of chaos, but I'm going to try to get my nails done this week before Mother's Day. If you guys don't know, I also do Color Street, so I'm an independent stylist with Color Street, and so I'm usually demoing all the fantabulous nail sets that I have. Right now I'm going to be demoing the fact that this is as bad as it looks after over 2 weeks of wear and tear and life. So anyways, if you have questions about any of that, feel free to ask. Lorraine, welcome in. You didn't miss anything. But grab your brown yarn. We're going to start with the soil. We are going to start with the soil, and we're going to get stitching. So, and it was a J-hook, if you remember. It was a J-hook. But yeah, so we've got a lot of different things going on that end. If you have any questions about any of it, let me know. Also, start thinking about maybe what we want to work on for next week, guys. I know some of the people on TikTok, because remember, I'm going live now on both platforms. So if you like more of the behind the scenes, just someone to stitch with, just someone to chat with throughout the day, that's where you can find me there. But for all of my live classes, we will stay on this YouTube platform, because I love the fact that it's available for replay after the fact, so you guys can revisit concepts or work on a project again that maybe you're not going to remember after you leave. So that's why we are staying here. But are we ready to get started, guys? Feel free to let me know if anyone needs another second, because we're getting started in just a moment. Grab your water. Cheers, Stitchers. Happy Friday. All right. We are going to start with a magic ring. If you're afraid of the magic ring, you shouldn't be by now. I feel like I've walked a lot of people through it, but I'll go slow. I'll go slow. I like to hold the cut end, go around, crisscross, crisscross applesauce. Let me do that in a way that didn't look bad. There we go. There we go. Hold everything tight. Under the first one, over the second one, pull it through, slide your fingers out, and then you're just going to pull this tight enough to where you can actually work with it. And we are about to get stitching. So with brown yarn, make a magic ring. We're going to chain one, and then you're going to do single crochets, 6 of them. Does anyone have any crazy plans this weekend? I guess I shouldn't ask you too many questions because you guys aren't going to be able to type and stitch at the same time. I forget these things. But you know, you feel the need to fill the silence. And I don't know if YouTube lets me play music. I've got to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will walk you guys through single crochet. I'm sorry, I should have been a little bit better at that. Single crochet. I'm going to do one and then I'm going to undo it. So if you guys are still working on your 6, ignore me. Insert your hook. You're pulling up 1, and then you're going to yarn over and pull up 2. I'm going to undo this one because I already did my 6, but just in case you did not know what a single crochet is, we're going to revisit that, and that should help you guys out. But you want to do 6, you should have something kind of like this. And then you're going to pull that closed. Pull it closed. I will go slower. Forgive me. I've been in crochet mode all day and I forget. You guys may not be. I did hear a tip where some people, because this first single crochet is always so difficult to get your hook into, you're not alone. It's just because, one, if your first chain might be a little bit too tight, but two, a chain is short, and so it's pulling the single crochet down into the magic ring. I came across a video today that said if that is something that absolutely irks you and you struggle with it, feel free to do an extra single crochet and just skip that one when you come around. It's a nice tip, and it's probably something I will do in another project going forward just to test it out. But next thing you've got to do is we've got to fish this hook into that first one so we can start round 2. And if you have a stitch marker, we're going to be using that as well. But you want to grab both loops. I am going to be crocheting over my tail because I don't want to have to weave it in. You're here just really tired. No worries, Haley. I figured you would be exhausted. Alright. Next row. We're doing 2 single crochets in each stitch. You could also say you're increasing in each stitch. Both are correct. I want you guys to learn the language. So do 2 stitches, both in the same stitch right there. Mark with your stitch markers, brought to you by Karen, the first stitch that we made. So you'll have 2 stitches in that one. And we're making a circle. This is all very similar to the bottom of the pot that we made. So now in the next stitch, we're going to work 2 single crochets. So insert your hook, pull up 1, pull up 2. And we're doing our increase, so go back into the exact same stitch with your second single crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to do 2 more. I'm going to go slow, but let me know if I need to back up, you guys, or if anything is crazy, because I know some of you guys are new to this, and I want to make sure everyone can finish their plant successfully. For some reason you said each. I thought you said itch. Oh, yeah. No, Haley. No. Again, and you'll see, this is what, I know it's dark yarn. I mean, this is actually not as bad as if I were using black yarn. But you can see this one stitch here and that one stitch there. Get used to how this looks, because when we break up the increases, you may forget where you're at and want to like be able to see it. And that's how you can kind of like see the stitches. Because once you can really understand it visually, like if you can't count or if stuff just hits the fan, you can recover quicker. You'll be like, just something ain't right. And we're getting that last one. You've done an increase all the way around. If you are counting your stitches, you should have 12. And you should have something that looks like that. So the next row, let me know if I need to slow down for anybody out there. I'm going slow, but I also know what my slow is different. Hey, Karen! Karen, that's right there. That's the Karen you guys want to get in touch with if you guys like the stitch markers. The stitch markers are all her designs. She does amazing stuff, and it's all custom. If you like dogs, it's great. If you don't like dogs, she's got a million other things. A million other things, you guys. A million other things. Amigurumi needles, knot slayers, all of the crochets, the crow-accessories. Karen, if you just got in, we're making another circle. So 6 single crochets in the first magic row, and increase in each one. You should be at 12 stitches. 12 stitches. Okay. Now the next row. We're going to do 2 singles. Wait, hold on. 2 single crochets into next stitch, single crochet into next stitch. So increase, decrease. Or I'm sorry, increase, single, increase, single. So that first stitch, you're doing an increase. 2 single crochets in it. And this is actually a standard circle, guys. So if there's ever anything you want to make a circle of, this is what you would do. And the only other thing I've seen is people up it to like 8 stitches instead of 6. But for this, do 6. Put your stitch marker, put your stitch marker. So we did our increase. This one's going to be single. So just 1 stitch into the second stitch. So 2, and here's where you can see it and start, hopefully, you've got 1 stitch here, So there's our increase, and this is our single. We're going to do another increase right here. So increase, single, increase, single. 1, 2, and 1. 1, 2, and 1. And keep going like that all the way around. All the way around. Yeah, you name it, I'll get it, right, Karen? Pretty much. Pretty much. I've seen the stuff people are posting when they get your orders, and they're just so, every single one of them looks amazing. Okay, I'm going to cut this because I'm tired of crocheting over it. You should be safe to do so by now. And then I'm going to finish again the increase and the single. Your last stitch should be a single crochet, not an increase. If you are counting stitches, you should be at 18. For those of you who are like, well, how do I know if I'm counting stitches? You bring up a very good point. So let me show you what that means. This is our first stitch, the one with the stitch marker. 1. I'm just looking at this braid. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. That's how you're counting the stitches. And this is why a stitch marker is important, especially if you are not slip stitching into the round. Notice we did not do that. We are working in a spiral. So stitch markers, if you don't have one, get one. Karen can help you. If not, use another strand of yarn. Like this, I could just loop the yarn in here and it would mark it for me. Alright, we're ready to start our next row. 2 singles into the next, single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So we're doing increase, single, single, increase, single, single. And I will walk you through that. Oh my goodness, it's stuck. Dang splitting yarn. Okay. Increase is our first one. It looks like a snail tail. Yeah, it's a spiral. Yep. It will look like a snail tail. Don't forget your stitch marker. So now we're doing 2 singles. We did our increase first, 2 single crochets. Then increase, so 2 into this stitch. There's 1. There's 2. 2. And then a single. And then a single. Increase. Single. Single. All the way around. How's everyone doing? Do I have everyone still with me or did I lose anybody? If there's anybody that needs me to revisit something, holler. Throw something in the chat. Be like, Jen, save me. I will. We will leave no stitcher behind. And you should end on your second single crochet. And I'm going to pause here. I need to grab some water anyway. And that should give you 24 stitches. We've got about 3 more rows. So if you're playing yarn chicken, kind of like I am, you don't have a whole lot more. So you should be good. Told you guys, my voice, man, I lost it. And you should have something that looks like a bigger snail tail, Haley. A bigger snail tail. All right, I'm holding up, but I think I'm about to move forward. I've had an eye issue since last week, and I can't see through my. Oh no, Karen, that's crazy. Hopefully that gets better. That's no fun. So now we're going to do increase followed by 3 singles. In case you don't see the repeat, you're just going to keep adding to the number of stitches that is in between your increases. So increase, place your stitch marker. The last row we had 2 stitches breaking up our increases. This row we have 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Our next increase goes next. And then 1, 2, and 3. I think you get the picture. Keep going around. Are you guys excited to see your plant finally come together? I think that's the fun part, is when it starts looking like a plant and less like a bunch of puzzle pieces. And 2. Now we need 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. I just made sure I wasn't making a mistake. 1, 2, and 3. My bread machine's letting me know the bread's done. Here's our last increase, and then you should end on 1, 2, and 3. And for those of you who are counting stitches, you should now be at 30. Hi there, it's Jenna Edits. We are walking through the last part of this plant. So if you missed the first 2, it's okay, stick around. What we're doing right now is we're making the soil, and then I'm going to teach you guys how to put all of this together. But we already taught this. It's all available on replay. If you go to my channel in the Get Hooked playlist, all of my other classes are saved there as well. I teach weekly, every week at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, usually on Thursdays though. Today we had to reschedule. We worked on these leaves last week. They also make good bookmarks. And then now we are making the soil, and we're going to put it all together. But welcome in. I'm glad you're here. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm here for you. Okay, so the next row, guys, if you're at 30 stitches, you're at 30. We have 2 more rows of this. So next one, we're going to increase on that first stitch, and then we're doing 4 singles. So your increase again is just the 2 stitches. Don't forget your stitch marker. And now 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then's your next increase, followed by 4 more single crochets. Continue doing that around, and let me know if you guys have any questions. If you need me to demonstrate everything, trust me, I got you. I am more than willing to. But I am just going to keep on trucking around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crocheting is really good for people that have compulsion to count everything. Maybe, Lorraine, because I actually usually don't count anything. That's why I try to teach so much what a stitch looks like, so you can find where everything needs to go without having to count, because I'm really lazy. I don't count. I don't like to count anyway. I try to avoid it. Amigurumi, I feel like you kind of have to, though, to some extent. But mind you, that's why I normally don't do amigurumi. Usually I'm doing shawls and stuff. And forgive me, there's a plane out there. And I have my window open because it be hot. And I don't feel like turning on the air conditioning if I don't have to. Plus, it's such a nice day. If you guys are on TikTok, I also usually stream there. Behind the scenes, not during class. But I'm allowed to play music there, so it gets a little less awkward. Okay, and then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looked like I had too many stitches. Increase. You count everything, Lorraine? Good for you. You have way more discipline than I do. Way more discipline than I do. Alright, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? I know it's a lot of repeat. This is the boring part. But I promise, once we start putting it all together, it's going to get really exciting, really fast. Okay, one more row of increases, one more row of boringness, and then we're done. We're going to start putting it together. So row 6 is increase followed by 5 single crochets. So increase, place your stitch marker, and then do 5 single crochets. I hope I got that right. I was answering a question for you. Yeah, Haley, no, you're good. I'm making a plant. I'm making a plant right now. 4 and 5. Then our next increase. Some of you probably have seen patterns where they break up the increases. I'm not going to spit out numbers because it gets crazy. Because if you notice, you're creating kind of points. If you guys are seeing that, you're not crazy. It's because our increases are stacked. For this project, you won't notice it once you put everything together. But some other people out there, when they write patterns, they intentionally move those increases so that they hit different points in the circle every time. So if that's something that for whatever reason you're using a circle to try to make something else and it doesn't look good and it bugs you, that is how you can change that. Is this row, I would do the increase like in the middle of the single crochets instead of doing all the single crochets in between. It just moves them in the row. I hope that makes sense. I usually throw a stitch marker every 20 stitches. Emily, that's what I do when I'm out and about and I have to count like a base row or something. I'll mark every 10 to 20 stitches because then if someone talks to you or whatever, at worst, you only have to count 20. So you are smart. Way to go, Emily. You get the gold star because I totally do the same thing. It's the best. I always try to help. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I actually made it to... Yay! The Gorilla Gang, how are you? You missed the first part, that's okay. It will be available for replay right after. But I'm glad you're here. And this was a 3-part series, so if you need to, you may want to check the other two weeks because we made the pot week 1, we made the leaves week 2, and now we are making the soil and we're going to put it together. So we're almost done with the soil and then we're going to put this bad boy together. So we just did our increase. And now we need to do our 5 single crochets. You guys might be ahead of me by now, but that's okay. Usually I go too fast. So, in case someone needs to yell at me, feel free to. I will slow down. 1 and 2. And then another 5 singles. So increase 5 singles. Increase 5 singles. 1, 2, 3. You made 4 pots and lots of leaves already. Okay, so to start the circle, I can walk you through it. You're doing the exact same thing as here. So start with your single crochets, 6 in the magic ring. And then row 2, you're going to want to increase all the way around. And then when row 3, you'll introduce the 1 single crochet in between your increases. And you'll keep going till you get to the 5 single crochets in between each increase. If you need to, like, if you go, hey, what do I do for row 3 again? I got you. Let me know. Let me know. We just did another increase, and so 5 singles. And then our increase. 5 singles. Yay, yay, yeah. I want you to at least, because worst case scenario, you just might have to go back and rewatch part of it, but you can still crochet with us. You can still crochet with us. We can get you caught up. Heck yeah. Increase. And then your last 5 should be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. We didn't mess that up. I learned that the pot is kind of cute with eyes and a smile. Oh, Lorraine, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. I'm waiting on eyes. I have eyes that I gotta go pick up. But look, Lorraine, I made this. We made a couple of these for some gifts coming up. And I liked it so much that now I'm making myself one because I should get a gift too. Alright. Is everyone completed their their row? It's technically row 7, but so it's technically row 6, but it's with the 5 stitches in between. We're good? Because our next one's just going to be single crochet around, and then we're done with the soil. So you can remove the stitch marker. We're just doing 1 stitch all the way around because it's going to make the soil kind of cinch in a little bit. Thanks, Lorraine. Yeah, it's a fun one. And it's actually it's someone's video on YouTube. I can totally send it to you. But it's a fun one. So this row, this is our final row. We're just going to do 1 single crochet all the way around. If you are counting, you should end up with 42 stitches on this row as well as the single crochet around. 42. So just do 1 single crochet into each stitch. And then the boring part will be over and we can start putting this together. One in each. I also learned something. Amigurumi, this means whatever side is facing you is always the outside. And I always tend to try to crochet from inside my project, which is really weird. So amigurumi, you will start seeing this start to curl. That's okay. That's what we're trying to do. That's why we're not increasing this row. And that's what's going to make this soil kind of come up a little bit, and it kind of raises it. So there's a rhyme and reason to all these increases. I know they're kind of crazy, but there is a rhyme and reason to it. Because you're trying to create these shapes. And Gorilla Gang, if you need me to repeat any of those rows, let me know. Let me know. I know you're playing a little bit of catch up, which is good. I want you to. I want you to. Got to get your pot all put together. Everyone getting those stitches? We're almost done. And look, yarn chicken success. I know I'm going to succeed. Woo-hoo! I love winning a game of yarn chicken. I guess it wasn't that scary though. It looked more scary when I held it in my hand. When you guys get there, feel free to fasten off. Don't leave yourself a crazy yarn tail, because if you don't remember, we left a really long yarn tail. We're going to sew in with this color. You can sew in with the brown. What you run the risk of is accidentally creating some brown that's visible through this side. So you want to, if you can, stitch with the pot color, not the brown. If it's just adding 1 more single crochet each row in between, I can do it. Yes, perfect. And then you want to get to the 5. So when you get to 5, after that, you're going to do just 1 row of single crochet all around. That will make the lip kind of come to the back. You'll have a little bit of curling. That is done by design. We're done with the stitch markers. So put this happy boy over here. Brought to you by Karen. Don't ask. I'm on one. It's Friday. It's Friday. I'm going to do a slip stitch right there. You don't have to. I just feel like it closes it off more. Fasten off. So that means you're going to pull through and cut. Doesn't need to be a long tail. Remember, we don't need that. But you want to pull it tight. So you should have something that looks like this. And we are done crocheting. You will need a yarn needle. And we're going to start putting all of this together. So grab your leaves, your pot, our yarn needle, and scissors. Don't forget your stuffing. We'll be stuffing it. Okay, I'm also going to do the cardboard. So if you're doing the cardboard, it's not required. For some reason, I just feel it makes it like a little more flat to put a little piece on the bottom here, but it's really not, it's not like required or anything. And there's no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. In fact, I think I will, for the first time, use a pen. And just kind of trace the edge, and we're just going to make a circle that kind of matches that. There might be a better way to do that. I don't think we need to be that picky, but I'm just going to cut the cardboard. I'm going to probably go on a big side, just that way I can fix it once I don't have to fight the cardboard. I'm fighting the cardboard, and the cardboard's winning. Okay, yeah, we definitely need to clean that up. I told you guys I was going to go a little bit on the outside of that line. I want a lot of bit outside on the line. Let's not make fun of my cutting skills. This was not part of crochet class. Oh, I think I will get a little bit on the big side. We'll leave it like that. That looks good. That looks good. There was another piece that took off over here. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. Nope. Yep. Come on. I'm trying to be better at cleaning as I go. I did a lot of cleaning this weekend just to make a mess again. Welcome to crafting! Okay. And we're going to stuff it. Feel free to stuff it. You need to stuff it. Oh, we haven't done our leaves yet. I'm just stuffing it a little early just to get it done. Because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put all the leaves into the soil. And you want to be like, it's going to be up to you. You want to stuff it enough. You may not want the outside to be pushed out, but you do want it to still push the soil up. So go a little heavy on it. Nothing too crazy. I hope that makes sense. And if you can see, I'm a little bit high up there. Do you ever put weight in the pot? I have not, but Lorraine, I would recommend it. I think it would just sit better. It might be less apt to fall over if you had it sitting somewhere. That being said, the one I have in my bedroom has never fallen over, and I have it like on a little pedestal, and it's sitting on top of our little fireplace. So take that for what you will. So I think it would be a good idea. I think it would work really well, but no, I haven't. Okay, let's move to, I'm kind of all over the place here. Pull out your strands. We're going to do those first because those have more things that kind of get tangled. And we're going to put all of these into the pot. I recommended 3 strands. You guys can do as little or as much as you want. Some of you guys put a million strands in there, and you may hate this part, but it will look really good because it's going to look so full. I so support this. And what I'm going to do is we're going to thread them all into the center. So we're going to start with one. You're just going to take your yarn needle. If you guys, I like the metal ones. They go through tighter spots a lot better than the plastic ones. Plus they take my tough fingers and the tough tight stitches. But you may want the ones that I recommend. The link is in my bio. This is only like a $6 or $7 pack. I like how big the eye is when you get the good metal ones. They do have some that are really small, but you definitely don't want to do that. I like to go right into the center. So we're just going to sew directly in there. This is where you can kind of customize where you want the leaves to lay. Okay? Some people may want them all to come out right close. I prefer, especially for the vines, to pull them out a little bit, because then the other leaves can lay on top of it and kind of stack and go around. So once you get it kind of where you want it, I'm going to have it hanging off the soil just a smidge. Turn it over, and we're going to tie it in a knot. But to do that, you've got to loop at least one of the brown stitches. Don't pull it through all the way. Go back through it and pull it as a knot. Now, don't pull it too tight. I'm pushing down to keep my leaf in place. So I'm pushing down because I don't want to accidentally pull it too tight until you get the second knot. And for the second knot, I just kind of loop wherever I can. once you get the second knot, that'll lock it in. And you will probably tie more knots as we keep going. But you don't have to worry about cutting this because it'll just end up being extra stuffing once we're done. But let's get another strand in there. How did that go? Did everyone do okay with that one? I know it's not super rocket science, but I want to do the big one. Sorry. I like to get my big leaves in there first because I feel like all the other leaves kind of stack around them. But that's just me being completely like picky about how I like it to look. And I try to make them a little bit offset because I don't want it to be too symmetrical. These are all the things that I'm probably overthinking in my head, but just little pointers that I have done. Up to you guys how you guys want to do it. I'm going to pull this one in a little bit tighter. And then once you're happy with that spot, you're going to do the same thing. We're going to find a brown loop. Before you pull it all the way through, go through the green again. Make it a knot. And go twice. And we're going to keep doing this for all of our vines, and then we're going to do the same thing for all of our freestanding leaves. Going right back through the center. I don't know where I want this one yet. Yeah, we'll go right there. That looks good. Boom. And this one, now that we've got a few strands in here, we can actually start cheating even more. I'll usually tie one knot, and then I'll tie it to these, because this is just faster. So this is when I start kind of going rogue and doing whatever works. Is everyone getting it so far? How's it going? Are you getting excited? Are you seeing it come together? Ah, I love it. Alright, we now have our individual leaves. We're going to do the exact same thing. You might want to cut these so that they're the same length, otherwise it's just going to get annoying. Oh, I don't like these scissors. Those are my cardboard scissors. Yuck. I like Karen scissors. They're sharp. So, you will want to, if you left both strands, that's what I do. But just make sure you loop in both yarns. Going right through the center, just like everything else. And then you're going to pull it tight until it's where you kind of like it. This is when you want to start really overlapping. And then nothing different. We're going right back into one of those brown loops. Before you pull it tight, go back through. Don't pull it so tight that you move where you placed it, but you can go ahead and switch to tying it in knots after that to another strand, a strand that was in the other vine, to one other existing strand. Alright, we got a few more. And then we are good to sew this to our pot. If you guys are ready to sew it to your pot, let me know, because I will show you where you want to aim, just in case you end up going faster than I do. And this one, now keep in mind they're going to move around, so you kind of want to set an idea of where you want them. Reality is they're going to do what they want as you move it around. Grab that. Boom. Boom. Tie it in a knot. I might be going overkill with the knots, but I don't know. I just get paranoid. I get paranoid it's going to come apart. Even though I don't think I've ever had that problem. Maybe it's because I'm paranoid that I've never had the problem. I know if you're washing it and stuff like that, the more knots the better. Right down the center with all of it. Oops, okay, see what happened there? One of my strands just did not get pulled tight enough. There we go. Super fixable, don't panic. And keep overlapping. My last one will probably be pulled all the way down to the soil. I kind of just keep getting them a little bit closer each time. I probably don't need to tie it in a knot. I'm getting a little crazy over here, but I don't want to pull this one too tight. So just be careful because I don't want to cinch it. And there we go. It's a little chaotic, I know. And then what's going to happen is when you hold all those, it'll be easier to see. And they do get a little tangled, but are you working through it? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Don't forget your water. I hope I don't lose my voice every time my son has a basketball game this year, because if that's the case, this is going to be really difficult. I drink so much tea trying to get my voice back for today, and I still sound kind of weird. Alright, it's coming together. Ooh, this one's pretty full. I love it. Don't pull that first one too tight. And on this one you can go a little more ham. There we go. I've only got 2 more leaves. How's everyone else doing? I've only got 2 more, so I will be sewing it together in just a moment. But some of you may have several more. I just found you. Do you do these small project crochet alongside? Elizabeth, I do it every week. Usually it's 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every Thursday. This one just got rescheduled because my son had sporting events. But all of my old ones are also available for replay. So absolutely. I'm also live behind the scenes. I do a lot of live on TikTok, so you can find me there as well. And feel free to ask me any questions if I'm just always crocheting. I'm always crocheting. But yes, I do. I do. Subscribe, hit the notifications, do all the things. We will have another class Thursday. I don't know what we're making next week. A lot of times it's you all that help me figure out what you guys want me to teach you. I really believe in making this about you guys. So if there's ever anything you want to learn, that you are ready to learn, that you just really want me to teach, let me know that too, guys. Put it in the comments. Okay, I'm on my last leaf. I'm on my last leaf. But Elizabeth, I'm so glad you found me. How did you find me? My name is Jen. Nice to meet you. Here we go. This is my last leaf. I'll join you next time. Awesome, great. Yeah, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, usually on Thursday. Usually on Thursday. We're going to pull this one all the way tight because I want that to really kind of cinch in all of those leaves. I like to minimize the soil that you can see in the center. It's not a must. If you guys know a pothos plant, you see the soil. Like, it's not a must. I'm trying to create that bushy effect. Came up in your feed. Nice. Ooh, you want me to make the turtles? That's awesome. I can. If you guys haven't seen the turtles, this is what they're referring to. It's not my pattern. The video's on YT, but I can totally teach it. Alright, we're tying our last one. Alright, it is now time to sew it to our pots. Is everyone ready to do that, or you want me to hold tight for a little bit? Clean up your leaves. Pull all. What I like to do is I like to hold all of those threads on the bottom. It kind of makes this thing easier to manage. And then that way you can make sure everything is not tangled They are too cute. I want to make one. Girly Gang, you should. I mean, yeah, I want to make like first off, I can send it to you. Just send me a message. But I do want to make like 1,000,000 of them. I also like the fact that I'm making my first one in non-traditional colors. This one's the one I'm going to keep. And I didn't think non-traditional colors would be so cute. And now I'm really like, oh my gosh, let's make them in every color. So I'm totally down. I'm totally down. All right. I'm still on the dirt. Okay. Oh, you're catching up quick, Girly Gang. You're catching up quick. Thought of you when I saw a dog paw filet crochet blanket. Lorraine, I might have that blanket saved. I also found a dog paw granny square blanket, and I wanted to turn it into a scarf because you know I like my scarves, Lorraine. All right, guys. Now, here's the kicker. I hold all, whoa, there we go. I hold all of my stuff kind of like that. It's just going to become extra stuffing. Make sure none of your leaves get in there. But you can just stuff all that in there. And we're just going to lay it on top. If you have amigurumi needles or knitting needles, this might be a good time to pull those out and stuff them to hold stuff together. If you don't have them, this might be a little bit tough, but you will get through it. I've done several before I had these. Feel free to order them from Karen. She is in the chat. TSH Designs by Karen. And if you ever want the link to her Etsy store, I have it in my link tree. It's in the description, and it is under the recommendations section. But once you get that kind of in place, where you're going to sew it is to this ledge, those unworked loops right there. So I'm going to be grabbing and whip stitching. Hold on. Makes it hard to see. These. So what I'm aiming for, so you can, is the inside loops of this stitch right here. So I'm grabbing the ledge on the inside because I want this to stay free. What's happened during many prototypes, because I've done it, I tried sewing it to the inside just below here, and it pulls the side of the pot in. It never fails. Then I tried to sew it somewhere around here, and it pulled this in, and it kind of ruined the ledge, which makes it look like an iconic terracotta. So you want to grab the inside of that ledge. So when you let it sit, if I pull back the stuffing, you see it more. And it's these loops that are unworked inside. That's what we're going to be stitching to. And you're going to use your extremely long tail that is already attached to your pot. But before you actually start doing that, let's get the yarn in position, because if you recall, we finished on the top of the ledge. I want to get the yarn down here before I start connecting it. Whoops, we got a runaway frog. Runaway frog. And I want to get the yarn to this point before we start connecting it. All I'm going to do is it's just similar to when we fasten in ends. I'm just going to weave it in until I get to that spot, and then we'll start whip stitching. So I'm just using my needle, working it through some stitches so you can't see where it's heading, to get to this point, and then I'm going to go on the inside, and then we will start sewing it to the pot. No worries, Haley, no worries. Make sure you kind of give it a little stretch. It's real easy sometimes to get our yarn stuck. And then I am going straight through the back to get it on the inside. Don't pull it too tight. And you should be in a good position, hopefully I can show this, to start whip stitching. So I'm going to grab this one, and then I'm going to grab the brown. On the brown, I'm going to grab both braid. I'm going to try to see where it naturally hits. Both braids, both loops. And you're going to go around. Now, for the most part, you're going to be even. But this number of stitches is not the same as this number of stitches. So you may have to do 2 of these to 1 of these, or 2 of these to 1 of these. When I get to 1, I will definitely... I have a head, body, and flippers of a baby seal in a project box. I have tried to sew them together 4 times. Oh, Frankenseal, Elizabeth, I love that. This is the hardest part. You are not alone. Needles help hugely, I will tell you. I didn't even know needles existed, and I used to hate this part until I found them. So if you have even knitting needles or even extra crochet hooks, you can start shoving those in there. But I don't just do amigurumi. If you don't see behind me, usually I make wearables like scarves, beanies. That's normally what I crochet. I met some people that started sending me all these great patterns, and this one I just kind of made on the fly because I needed a gift for somebody. So we do all of the things. I teach overall a ton of crochet. We've done bookmarks. Check out my other classes, trust me. And I would love to try to get you to a point where Frankenseal is now a real seal. But these needles, or even shoving the back of crochet hooks, like if you have skinny crochet hooks, you could even shove those in there to hold it in place. It does all the work for you. I didn't even know these existed until I met Karen. Alright, if you guys can see, this looks like I have a lot more stitches in brown than I do here, so I'm going to go back into my pink one more time and then grab the next brown. So technically I'm doing 2 brown stitches to the same pink stitch. That's just going to happen every now and then as you go around, just to keep it from kind of warping. But that's okay. That's okay. The stitch count is not even on this thing. Could I go through and make it even? Maybe. But you guys don't know how much it was to already get it to where it was at. I did this part so many times. This was like my nemesis part. And finally I just said, forget it. I like it. It works. As long as people know and the result is the same, that 'tis all that matters. I'm going to do one more 2 for 1. So I'm going to go back into this pink one. And I'm going to do 2 brown stitches to that pink one. See how I'm spreading out those 2-in-1s? I'm spreading it around. You don't want to have to do too many in one section, or it'll create like a dimple effect. And just in case I keep going out of frame, let me zoom out a little bit, and that might help. That might help. I tried to frog it yesterday, but couldn't. His little face. Oh! Yeah, I didn't know that either. Shayna, welcome! I'm glad you found me here. Elizabeth, that is actually what created this frog. This shawl, I just wrote that pattern. I sell my patterns on Etsy as well. And this shawl, I had to frog that thing like 8 times. 8 times. And you didn't find out you needed to frog it until 2.5 rows later. It is not a forgiving pattern, but I love it to death. But yeah, that is what inspired us needing to make a frog. Because I'm like, if I'm going to have to frog something, I'm going to have to make it fun. I forgot to tell you guys, and this is total shame on me, we don't really need this, so stuff this inside too. The brown tail, just stuff it inside. You don't need to sew it in, you don't need to worry about it, but stuff it in when you get to it. Teacher fail moment, it happens. Now what you can start doing, oh, that actually does expose those nicely. If you pull down the lip of this, it exposes. There's the easier way to find the stitches, guys. Look, we're learning together. We're learning together. You can easily see where to put this. I hope that helps somebody. Maybe someone's like, dude, I already found that out, Jen. If that's the case, props to you. You guys get the gold star. You guys get the gold star. It's Friday. I told you, this week has been gnarly for me, and I totally overcommitted myself. So this, instead of Fun Friday over on TikTok, we are having Fix My Life Friday, where I'm trying to finish all my projects. Welcome to Genetics Creations. We are interesting individuals. I'm going to take this one out. I think we're good to just work with the one. And I'm going to keep going around. Is everyone's coming out? Like, are you guys doing it? I know this is the hard part. I know this is the hard part for everyone. And the other thing, Elizabeth, if you really want to do amigurumi, but you struggle for sewing, is they have a million no-sew patterns. Some of them can get tricky, but it is no-sew. and they work really, really well. In fact, this little dude, an axolotl, he was a no-sew pattern. And he's so cute! And that one was really easy to make. You could probably turn that one into a few keychains. I feel like I have a lot of brown starting to get backed up, so I'm going to do another 2 for 1, where I go into the same pink stitch and into the next brown stitch. So 2 stitches of brown for that 1 pink. I'm not seeing anyone struggling, so I'm going to keep going. I'm not hearing anything. I should say reading anything. I'm still getting my leaves into the soil. Just had a tab behind. Okay, Liz, that's good. You should be okay. The sewing part's a little rough, only because I've done it so many times. So I'm just nervous I'm going to leave someone behind. In fact, I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to drink some water and slow down a minute. I can't wait to see. You guys have to tag me. I don't care what platform you're on, at Genetics Creations. It's the same everywhere. Everyone needs to tag me. I need to see these, because some of you guys were describing some really amazing colors. And Karen, you found the best variegated alternative. It's at Hirschner's, and she found one that was perfect. And she said it feels amazing. It works great. So if you guys like the variegated, she had that. I should get that link and put it in my recommendation section. I will eventually get my life together on Fix It Friday. We're allowed to be a hot mess every now and then. It's the stitches that keeps us together. How corny can I be in one day? I think that's awesome. We're at the last stretch, guys. The last part. Yeah, folding this down definitely makes it easier. It might stretch it a little, so you might have to do some blocking with your fingers after all is said and done, but as you get closer to the end, if you are feeling it and you're like, you know, I feel like it needs a little more stuffing, this is your chance to stuff it some more. You need to stuff it. This has been a thing all week. Oh, I went too early. We're going to put that back. We're just going to put that back and keep going. I thought I was further around. I'm still a little over half. A little over half. You've done 2 failed at 1 plants. Both were working over wire and also used full. Oh, wow. Yeah, I wanted to try using the wire, Elizabeth, because, and I appreciate your compliment. I do, but honestly, I know you can do this. I know you can. You may want, I made these bookmarks. It's a bookmark. It's not true amigurumi, but I did teach this a few classes ago, and I wanted to use the floral wire and crochet over it to make it stand so I could put them into like vases and stuff as if they were propagating. But this might be a really good one, and I teach you how to use a diagram in this one, so check out my other classes, because like I said, I do a lot of different things. I feel like I like the fact that I don't stick with one genre now, because there's just so many cool things to make. One was a string of hearts. Ooh, string of hearts is on my list. I've had one saved for a while. That's a good one. And a Christmas cactus. I've seen that going around too. The other thing I want to try to do is actually Christmas trees. And I know it's a little early to be thinking about Christmas and stuff, but as crocheters, like, you sometimes have to make a lot of that stuff in the summer, or you lose your mind come winter. And some Christmas trees, I have some patterns saved that were really, really cool. Absolutely, absolutely. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to comment in any of the videos. I respond to everything myself, so just bear with me if there's a delay. But I genuinely am here for you. And if I am delayed, it's not personal. I promise. I just am a one-man show. At least for now anyway, until I figure out more ways to keep getting stronger and better. We also have a cord. It's a Discord. I can say that on here. It's on TikTok. I can't. But if you guys want to get into that, let me know. Shoot me a message. I'll actually put the link in the comments. Give me a second. Let me put that in the chat, because you guys can join for free. We even have a Crochet SOS channel and all of the things. And what's great about that is it's just another way to connect with any of our community. We have a nice little crochet community going there. So if you guys want to get into that, definitely, there's the link. It's free. We can share pictures there. We have, just all the things. We have patterns. We're going to start doing a project of the week, so we'll be crocheting together over the week. If you're in the lives, great. If you're not, but you just want to crochet and share pictures, it's a great way to kind of stay connected when this isn't an option. You made a Bago Day Christmas tree in bright pink sparkle yarn. Why are the traditional colors, or the non-traditional colors, like so amazing? I never do non-traditional, and pink sounds perfect. Especially with sparkle. That sounds really good. Alright, so again, I'm going to stuff it a little bit more. I am a little heavy on the brown stitches, so I'm going to be definitely doubling up one or two more. More stuffing. More stuffing. More stuffing. Just make sure you're not pulling your yarn strands in there too far down, because you don't want to accidentally cinch it down. More stuffing. You need to stuff it! Everyone else is thinking it. My watch is reminding me to drink water. So cheers, Stitchers. Clink, clink. Happy Friday. Hopefully you guys have great plans for the weekend. Anyone got anything exciting? Oh, that's much better. I like it when it's a little more stuffed, to be honest with you, because it pushes the soil up and round more, which is kind of nice. Okay, we're going to finish it up. I'm going to do 2 browns to this pink. And I'll probably do that one more time in a second. But I don't want to put too many together, because then it starts changing the shape. Plus, I'm now starting to think I might have the even amount of stitches. That looks pretty even now. I have not great childhood Christmas memories, so never liked decorating for Christmas. Then Walmart had a theme. One for red. Ooh, I like teal. Red, teal, and pink. Ooh. You know, that's a good way to make, I guess, something kind of like your own. So I support this. You just joined? Yay! Gorilla Gang, I can't wait to see. Hopefully you guys all post. Feel free to tag me. I actually have one extra pink stitch now, but that's okay. I'm going to just go back into the same brown stitch right there, just to get rid of that problem. And then finish up with these 2. Fasten off. And I know fastening off is different because we're not stitching, but it's not all that different. So this is the point where we've used up all those stitches, and you see the jump down because it was a different row and we were working in a spiral. Those are all those stitches. So I'm just going to get low and do that last one just to come through. But before I pull it all the way through, this is how you're going to finish it off. Don't tie a knot like I am. There we go. Okay, get close to it being all the way. So you should have this. Make sure to go through it. That ties it in a knot. You don't need to pull it ridiculously tight. It's not going to go anywhere on you. And then you can fasten it in. Or weave it in, sorry. And amigurumi, it's nice because you don't have to be picky about where you work the yarn through, for the most part, because it's not like you're not going to see a lot of the stitching. So I just go through the project kind of haphazardly, and then I will cut it, and then we are done. And then you have yourselves our pothos, our leaf-hearted pothos. Or heart-leafed. Oh my goodness. Great. I'm going like dyslexic with words now. Alright, how's everyone doing? Are we getting it? Are we getting it? Has everyone like got something kind of looking like that? I'm so excited. I actually really like this pink one. I originally started them in white. Thank you, Emily. I do hope you'll give amigurumi a chance. I feel like there's just too many fun things you can make. And like even this one, the sewing was so minute because you were just sewing the fins on, so you weren't having to do some of the crazy stuff that you had to do with the pots. So to be honest with you, anyone out there that is landing this one, in my opinion, this is a little bit of an intermediate pattern. I don't know, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but this wasn't like the easiest. I would not say it's like super beginner, but I think anyone can do it as long as they stay patient with themselves and keep pushing through, and don't overthink it. For the love of God, don't overthink it, guys. It's too easy to overthink crochet, and it's funny because when you overthink it, you think yourself out of the finished product that you're looking for. All right, guys, what do I got? Any comments out there? How's everyone doing? Are we making progress? Is it working? And don't forget to take a look at a lot of different color options you can do. We did find a yarn alternative. Karen found a great one. It's at Hirschner's. I will try to get it linked to my link tree. Don't forget, in the description, Emily, you missed that part, but I have a free crochet tool in the description, and it has a lot of stitches. The beginning. Yay, Lorraine, you're done too! I'm so excited. Are you happy? Are you happy with it? But I have a free crochet tool. It's great for beginners. It has a lot of the stitch abbreviations. It also has a lot of the beginner stitches that you need if you want to play around with crochet diagrams. So it's great. It's free. It's in there. Also, guys, you guys have been with me a long time and I don't cover it every time. If you are interested in taking a look at my Etsy shop, I sell patterns. I also sell my finished items there. I have not listed my plants yet. I will be shortly, but if you guys want to buy either the patterns or my items, you get an exclusive discount code. It is Get Hooked. All one word. GETHOOKED gets you 10% off anything in my Etsy shop. And you're going to want to follow my Etsy shop because that way you get first to be notified every time I make something new listed in there. So every time I have a new pattern or anytime I have anything else. Check out all the links in my link tree. Again, if you're looking for crochet accessories, we have Karen. She's in the chat and she makes all of these amazing custom pieces. And so I've got her information in there. I am available for any questions you guys may still have. You're currently making one extra leaf to fill it up more. Do it. And Girl Again, you can honestly probably find a way to add more leaves after the fact because you just have to tie it and kind of then work the yarn under. So if you guys are like, you know, I want to add more leaves, do it. Keep adding them. I've seen some of these get so full that, like, Jules, I don't think she's here today. She made, like, she's one of my pattern testers, and hers was just, like, spilling over with leaves. It looked so amazing. Honestly, the more leaves, the better, in my opinion. But it is not required. You can make them however you want. That's what's awesome about crochet. You get to make it your own. But, I've got a few other things going on. If you guys aren't in the Discord, you may want to be. I already put the link. It is pinned in my comments, so that is in the chat. That's a great way to get in touch with us. We are looking at creating like a lot of different things. We've got a channel in there for paying it forward, so we're looking at, you know, ways that we can create crochet. I have a plan for plants to go to patients, ICU patients. That's my ultimate goal, but I'm working with some nurses to find out how I can make that happen. I know some other people are just doing freebies around events that they go to. Jules was spreading like little baseballs around at the baseball game when she went. So we've just got a lot of different stitchers that are nerding out over different yarn things. And we're just there. We're just there to have fun. So join. If you guys like live content, I will, in about 15 minutes, go back on TikTok and be live there until I have my painting class. So I'm going to be tied up until about 4:15. I'm sorry. I will be there until about 4:15, and then I have a painting class. I have my Mother's Day gift, which is a painting class, so I'm going to go have fun. But I'll be in the Discord after. So those are all the things. If you're new, welcome to Genetics Creations. So glad you're here. I hope you guys will follow and see us for next class. I don't know what we're making. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. I know the rose turtle is becoming kind of popular. I gotta see. That might be like a 2-part series if I do that, because that one did take a minute. But again, you guys seem to do okay with series. I don't know. Anyway, but you guys let me know. I'm down to make all the things. But I like it to be stuff that you want help with, because this class is all for you. It's all for you guys. The only reason I made this channel is because people wanted to learn to crochet. So I'm here for you. But that's all I have this week. Do I have any more questions before we bid you adieu? Any other questions? Lorraine got hers. Gorilla, you're so close. You're so close to being done. I love it. I'm going to wait just a little bit longer. I don't think we have anything new coming up, though. No new events or anything, so everything's pretty chill. I just don't know what we're making next week. That's the next thing I'll figure out. It might be the turtle. I might make more. One thing that's good about amigurumi, I mean, it's using up a lot of my scrap yarn. Look at Bubbles! I finally took a bunch of pictures with Bubbles, and Bubbles is going to now go in his forever home, which is my husband's truck. I made it for hubby. But hubby now wants me to make a chameleon, so... Yay! Yes, Elizabeth, please. I'm new to Discord, full disclosure, but it's been great because our community's been able to nerd out over yarn and projects and patterns, and that's just, I think it's just the most beautiful thing in the world. So, fantastic. All right. I'm not seeing any objections, so I am going to end this live. I'm going to take a quick 10-minute break or so, and then I'm going to be jumping on at TikTok. If you guys want any of that information, in my link tree, it has the direct connection to my TikTok. It's the same username, Genetics Creations. I'm in the same place. But feel free. You guys can always ask me questions there. I'll probably be finishing up my turtle today, so that way I can actually be done with it. And then I think we're just going to chill. We're just going to chill for a little bit. I might start crocheting something else. Who knows? Because, we always got to be stitching. Alright, guys, I'm going to take off. It doesn't look like any of you have any questions. Gorilla, I want to see yours when you're done. Please tag me if you guys have not already in all of your fancy, amazing finished projects. I so want to see all the colors you guys chose and what you guys chose to do with it. Because, yes, I guide you in how I do it, but I love when you guys make it your own. So, I can't wait to see all the posts. Otherwise, mwah, mwah, mwah. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next week.